All right, everyone. Well, get ready because we're diving into the world of AI-driven quality today. AI isn't just about technology. It's about making smarter decisions, driving innovation in our workflows. And as we go forward, consider how these advancements might fit into your own organization. What possibilities could AI unlock for you? Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I'm your host, Brion Hopkins, and I'm really excited to be here with you today as we're driving into how AI is reshaping quality management, from streamlining everyday operations to improving accuracy and driving better outcomes across the board. We've got an amazing panel lined up to share real-world insights and talk about what actually happening in the quality management today. And first, we have our VP of Sales, Rick Fernandez. Second, we have Bivar, our Chief Product Strategist. Third, we have Mahesh, our Head of Technology. And fourth, we have Naveen, our pre-sales engineer. And before we dive into the webinar, let's hear from you, our audience. Please take a moment to vote on what you believe in the single biggest barrier to adopting QMS software in your organization. Is it the cost, lack of expertise, resistance to change, or being unsure of the benefits? Let's give it a few more seconds. And it looks like resistance to change is the winner. Now, this is a three-part webinar that we're focused on today. The first part is Quality 4.0. Second part is AI solution in action. And the third part is ROI regulatory alignment. Now, Quality 4.0, this is not just a buzzword. It's actually a convergence of digital manufacturing, connected systems, and AI. It's the point where quality moves from a historical reactive function to a proactive strategic part of the business. Rick, what do you think the impact is of Quality 4.0?
Well, let's take a look at a couple of graphs. The general trend across all industries seems to have a primary focus on two quality objectives: reducing the total cost of quality and improving customer experience. As you can see, for the broader market, the quality strategy is primarily driven by financial efficiency and market differentiation through customer satisfaction. Whereas for life science companies, maintaining regulatory compliance is the single most critical strategic driver for their quality management system. Similarly, to pursue the Internet of Things for all industries, the overwhelming immediate priority for IoT use cases is on core operations, remote monitoring, keeping assets running, and business model transformation. However, for life sciences, again, quality monitoring and customer access to information are the key issues. Now let's dive into the core challenge we face today. First, quality leaders are grappling with the complexity and integration of modern operational environments. This is the key point to understand, as it impacts every aspect of your operations. Another significant concern is the fear of unexpected findings or recalls, primarily due to inadequate traceability. Imagine the implications when they are preventable issues and they slip through the cracks. It's crucial to understand these traceability gaps to ensure smoother operations. As we move forward, remember that these challenges are not insurmountable. With AI-driven quality, we have powerful new tools at your disposal to tackle these issues effectively.
Well, thank you, Rick, for that insight. It's very interesting. And let's transition now to the second part of the webinar concerning AI. Mahesh, can you please lead us through the fundamentals of artificial intelligence?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Yes, so let's understand what AI is and start from the definition, which is always good to start with the definition. So if I have to say the definition of AI at its core, it's making machines think and act like humans, but crucially only for specific tasks like quality management, for example. And what are the four functions of it, right? Learning data, deciding, taking decision or making decisions, understanding, recognizing patterns. So these are some of the functions. And if you have to understand with the real life examples, you can see here, Netflix, everybody knows about Netflix. It recommends movies based on what you watch. Everyone uses phone. When you type in, it autocorrects your typing. That's another example. And third one, which is very popular and you see everywhere today, is autonomous cars. You see Tesla everywhere, it drives itself. So these are some of the good examples. I hope this helps you understand the definition of AI. So now, before we dive into AI in quality, let's take a quick look at the sheer and breadth and depth of artificial intelligence. Let's look at the right-hand side of this diagram. So what this represents is the foundational AI types, and we will see a few of them I'm going to discuss now. First one is machine learning. This AI learns from data instead of being programmed. And examples are predicting defects, spam filtering, risk scoring. The next one is deep learning. This AI that uses a neural networks like human brains, and this understands the patterns. And what are the examples? Image recognition, for example, speech recognitions. We also spoke about Tesla as an example, which are autonomous cars. These are some examples of deep learning AI. Next one is NLP, natural language processing, very, very powerful today because this AI understands and generates human language. So you can talk in your own language. And for example, again, all the chatbots today, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, translational tools, these are some of the good examples of NLP. And the fourth one is a generative AI. This AI creates a new content like text, images. It can create code, you can write a code, audios, examples, again, all the chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, everyone uses today. So if I have to say generative AI is the biggest leap forward because it can create the data, not just analyze. Now, let's take a look at the left side. This is where AI moves into real world application. We saw some of the technologies like autonomous systems, again, cars, drones, robotics, for example, used for surgeries, personal assistance, and advanced interfaces like thought control gaming and virtual companions. So this graphic illustrates that AI is not a single technology. It's a vast ecosystem impacting nearly every industry today. And all of these applications rely on these foundational AI types, which we just discussed, those 4 AI principles. And that's exactly what we are applying to quality.
Well, Mahesh, thank you so much for explaining AI in general. I think a lot of people see AI as this big, scary thing. Can you break down what Qualityze Intelligence actually does to a normal QMS just can't?
Yeah, sure, Brian. So it's not a big, scary thing, actually. So what we have done as a Qualityze Intelligence, we have come up with the 3 key frameworks. Okay, let's understand that. First one you can see here is a predictive AI. This AI, which shifts quality from reactive to proactive by answering the question, what might happen? It forecasts the risks, failures, and compliance issues using powerful platforms like you can see here, Einstein Prediction Builder, Einstein Discovery, for custom outcome modeling and deep pattern analysis. We are using some of the underlying Salesforce technologies. The next one is suggestive AI. This AI tells us what might happen. Suggestive AI tells the user exactly what should I consider. This is an AI moving beyond raw data and proactively helping your team make the next best decision or the most effective action right within their workflow. And then next comes is the prescriptive AI. So this AI, the risk, and now you know the risk, you know the best suggested action. So the final piece is automation of that. And that's what this AI does. And this answers the question, what should we do now? This means that when AI identifies a high-risk situation or recommends a corrective action, the system automatically executes the necessary process steps, eliminating manual handoffs and speeding up the resolution time even further.
Thank you, Mahesh, for explaining the AI and the Qualityze Intelligence. Now we know the full cycle, predicting risk, suggesting the best action, and automating resolution. Let's talk about the second topic of the webinar. So Bivor, can you give us a quick real-world example? Walk us through a little bit a before and after scenario, like let's say for a common deviation, let's say particulate found in a sterile product.
For sure, Brian. So in that scenario, in olden days, there would be a paper form that gets filled out, which may get lost, right? Or you send an email to an appropriate group of people, which goes nowhere, right? With the Qualityze suite, an operator just logs it within their smartphone or tablet. The AI then reads or analyzes the data entered and flags it as a high risk and links it to similar past issues. And with one click, it can create a CAPA, which is pre-populated from the data that you've entered earlier, and then gets assigned to a right person. So no more scavenger hunt.
Got it. And that's the key here. No more emailing documents around. Now, Bivor, from a compliance side, how does a closed loop system like this make a difference during an inspection?
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally game changer, right? The entire quality cycle life cycle is connected. When an inspector asks about a specific issue, you can instantly pull it up on your screen with a complete audit trail. Everything's right there in one place. So no more paper, no scrambling, no stress. You're just showing the real thing and the proof, not flipping through a bunch of binder full of documents. And to show you how this works in real life, the intelligence of Qualityze, Naveen, our senior pre-sales engineer, is going to walk you through some of the scenarios, how Qualityze AI dramatically reduce the time and effort needed.
Yep. Thank you, Bivor. So before we see the AI in action, I'll briefly explain to you what the use cases are. We'll start off with the first one. So when a user reports a non-conformance, the Qualityze AI can give a complete detailed report on the non-conformance, comparing against the historical dataset. So the agent will present a list of all the potential root causes, the symptoms that have happened in the past. And most of the times we have noticed that the users tend to enter the details in their own native language. So the agent is intelligent enough to convert that into English. And all of this is done in just a matter of few minutes. And the second use case that we're going to walk through is around the training management. The manual creation of the diverse assessment questions, such as true or false or multiple choice, requires the trainer to fully absorb the content, collaborate with the peers, and all of this can easily take up to 3 to 4 days. Now, with the help of AI, the agents can understand those training materials, analyze them, put together an assessment, again, which is a huge time saver. And for the sake of time, I've recorded both of these use cases and we'll walk you through it now.
All right, I'll now be demonstrating the use cases. So here is a non-conformance record. All the details of the NC has been reported, including any additional information that is to be recorded are all tracked in here. All the users will have to do in here is navigate to the AI Assistant tab and hit the Analyze button, and the agent will do its job. The agent will now go back and analyze against the historical data. If there is any similar issues, it will present that list and also give you a detailed report. So here you can see in this report, the agent has converted the problem statement from German to English. Comparing against the historical data, that will also let you know what the potential root cause is, and also help categorize the issue if it's production, service related issue. Any recommendations will also be tracked in here, and it'll also present a clustering of all the similar issues that have happened in the past. You'll have hyperlink to navigate to those records and look into more details of it. And as a part of this detailed analysis, the agent will also let you know if you need to create a CAPA, if this is more like a high priority issue that is to be addressed. So this is just an example of how the agent can be leveraged as a part of the non-conformance process. And these agents can be enabled throughout the workflow. They can be configured as per your specific use case. Here's another example of non-conformance. You can notice most of these actions are completed as a part of the closure as well. You can leverage the agent, hit the review button, and you get that detailed assessment of all the information that's been entered within the non-conformance. So this report will let you know if this NC is good to be closed or not, and if there's any missing information or pending actions or activities to be completed will all be displayed as a part of this report. So there are multiple use cases on how the agents can be leveraged, and they can be enabled across all the modules throughout any specific steps that you require. And all these are time saver activities. Most of these activities require quite a few hours or sometimes even days to compile all the data. Now, in a matter of few seconds or even under a minute, you get that information. So we'll now move on to the next use case, that's with the training management on how to create assessments. So here I have a document record. This document is about the quality management principles. Here is just a quick preview of it. And within your document profile, you'll have placeholders for you to define your assessments. And again, in here is where you can leverage the AI to do its job. Now, all you need to do in here is let the agent know the number of questions that you want to be generated for this course. It's a number field. You can just enter the number of questions that you require, like 5, 10, whatever it is. And the type of questions could be a single select, multi. I'm just going to go with both. And in some cases, you might have the document in different languages. So you can also let the agent know in which language you want those assessments to be created. And now the agent will read through that document and it will come out with a list of questions which you can use for your assessment. Again, this is a huge time saver activity. Now, the training coordinators don't have to spend time in understanding all the details of that document. They just need to cross-verify those questions generated by the agent and make sure they're good to be used for the assessment. Okay. And as you can see in here, the agent has generated those assessment questions. So here is a question and also the correct answer for that question. And if it is multi-select, you can see all those applicable correct answers as well. The training coordinators will have an option in here to decide if those questions are good to be used for the assessment. Sometimes it could be a very basic question and you do not want to include that for the assessment, so you can just skip that. But if all the questions look good, you can just enable this option and the assessments will be included for that course. So these are some examples on how you can leverage the AI within the Qualityze application. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Naveen, for that impressive demonstration. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about the third topic of the webinar, which is our ROI and regulatory alignment. Now, Bivor, as we all know, the question is, what is the ROI? Can you share a little bit about how a company benefited from this? Beaver, you're on mute.
Sorry. So Brian, to give you a real example, we had a customer in sterile manufacturing who basically slashed their deviation closure time from over 6 days to about 43 hours, right? And on top of that, they were able to cut down on audit prep time by nearly 60%. And that itself is a huge amount of time back they can actually spend on higher values work instead of doing the paperwork. Now, in our website, we do have a tool, ROI tool, where you can use, so you can just quickly assess the impact your organization, using the tool, the calculator that gives you the glimpse of what your potential savings are going to be that the Qualityze can deliver.
Great, thank you, Beaver. And now I want to hit on some common concerns. Beaver, what about the validation? Is this still a massive, painful project?
Right. Your validation is always a sensitive topic in terms of compliance, right? So in our case, it's not at all, right? We use a risk-based approach. So it's the way more manageable than what it used to be in the past. So every configuration change is documented. We provide a ready-to-use templates, and the whole system is built to streamline the validation. So bottom line is, it's faster, it's easier, and less painful.
And Mahesh, a big concern always is the data privacy, putting consumers' data at risk.
Yeah, that's a very, very important question, Brian. And the short answer is no. AI does not put consumer data at risk when it is implemented correctly. Enterprise AI systems like Qualityze don't remember personal data. They learn from patterns. Customer data remains isolated, encrypted, and is never used to train up public models. And talk about access. Access is also tightly controlled with full audit trails, and everything aligns with the regulatory standards like GDPR and industry compliance requirements. I would say, in fact, when done right, AI actually improves data privacy by reducing manual data handling and enforcing consistent governance.
And Beaver, what about the human factor? People don't like new tools. How do you get them to adopt this?
Yeah, Brian, for this one, it's pretty simple, right? You start small. You have a 90-day pilot on one team, few use cases. We provide the training, we provide the support, and once they see the value, it just takes off.
And of course, with increasing cyber threats and new guidance like the FDA and CSA, what are the key security features that QMS must have to protect sensitive data and ensure compliance? Rick, what do you think?
That's an important question, Brian. The key features a modern QMS must have are encryption, access control, and audit trails. Qualityze was built from the bottom up to address these concerns.
And thank you, Rick. We've got a ton of questions coming in right now. I would like to get to a few of them real quick. First question we have is, how do we make sure the AI suggestions align with our specific risk matrix?
Yeah, let me take that question. Like we saw before, the AI is seeded with your historical data and always adheres to your predefined thresholds. And remember, the final decision always remains with the human. So you're good.
And another question we have here is it possible to pilot just one part of the Qualityze suite?
Yes, absolutely. Based on a strategic approach discussed, the standard strategy, I think also Beaver mentioned earlier, is to start small with a 90-day pilot focused on one team or maybe few use cases. This allows for a low-risk implementation and help the team quickly see the visible value before even driving broader adoption.
Match, that makes sense. Another question we got here is, are e-signatures and audit trails truly inspection ready?
I'll take this one, Brian, and that's a crucial question, especially for a compliance industry. So our system is inspection readiness, right? It's the core benefit that you get from our Qualityze. So yes, the e-signature, your audit trail are truly designed to be inspection ready. Our system is built to be compliant with the standards such as 21 CFR Part 11, which governs electronic signature and the records. So it's fully inspection ready.
And another question we have here is, do we have to implement a entire suite at once, Mahesh, or what's your take on this?
No, not at all. I think we mentioned before, you can start with a module that addresses your biggest pain point. It could be non-conformance or maybe CAPA, and expand from there.
Another question we have here is, they have some concerns about their data. Is it safe?
Absolutely. Data is safe. As I explained earlier, security is built in with encryption and privacy by design principles. So your data remains in your control environment, so it is safe.
And another question we have is, what about the validation? Vivor, can you help us out with this question?
Sure, Brian. As I spoke earlier, right? So we use a risk-based approach of validations where we have pre-built templates, thorough documentations. Just because of that, we have managed the validation to be a more manageable project than a giant huddle.
And another question we have here is, the FDA aligning with ISO 13485? If so, how will Modern QMS help companies get ahead of the regulatory change rather than just react to it? Rick.
Thanks, Brian. We accomplished that by providing a single integrated platform that streamlines compliance and moves you from a fragmented reactive process to a proactive data-driven system, ensuring you can meet the new requirements for risk management and post-market surveillance with minimal disruption. Imagine a medical device company, MedTech Innovations, that used to manage its quality documents and processes in different places. Spreadsheets for audits, email chains for complaints, and a single shared drive for design files. When the FDA inspects them, it takes days of scrambling to pull everything together, and they always get a finding about a missing signature or incomplete record.
Yeah, and let me add to what Rick said, right? Think of it this way. Instead of relying on manual processes like spreadsheets or email chain, a modern system like ours, Qualityze, it acts like a central command, and it automatically collects, stores your data, analyzes the data from a complaints, customer feedback, and other sources to give you a real-time understanding of what your quality system is and what is happening in the market. So this allows you to quickly identify potential issues or trends of your product that may become a costly recall or might get escalated to costly recall side. So get around to it first. The system also connects all your relevant records from design files to complaint files, histories in one place. So it's making you a audit ready all the time.
Well, thank you, Bivor. And unfortunately, that's all we have for today. We did present on how AI transforms quality by delivering a seamless compliance system. Customers are already seeing the results, the cutting deviations and closure time by using AI. And I wanted to thank our amazing panel. Everyone watching, hope this was helpful. We hope to have an easy two-step next process for you. First step would be a 15-minute readiness assessment, or we can do a tailored demo where we can show you the Intelligent Qualityze Suite with your specific data inside the demo. What we'll do is we'll send the links after the webinar, and stay tuned for the next webinar. Thanks again, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.